I don't mean to be dramatic, but when I talk about the things that changed my life, I actually mean it. And I would say that one book changed my life. Or not even one, but three. Here's why. All of these books have a purpose, and I use them as a creative to get through my creative day. Now, my creative day is different than my regular work day. I do like to take notes through my regular work day. I do like to take notes when I'm studying for a certification or, thinking about stuff for work or whatever. But I find it extra special to put these in my book for creative stuff because it keeps my mind on my creativity. And my idea book has a pretty deep meaning for me. And if you don't know me, I'm North. I feel like I have to introduce myself all the time. I'm North Dakota. I make music, and it's actually playing in the background right now. And I'm going to tell you a little story. A year ago, or even a little bit more, I was stuck in a rut. I was thinking about how I was going to move forward as a creative, as an artist. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was start YouTube and start getting back into music. It had been a while since I've done anything creative, and I was kind of just in this eat, work, sleep mentality. And so I decided to use one of the field notes books and put an idea in the book every day. Not just one if I could, but if I could just muster one, that was fine. But I would put one idea in the book every day, and I would look at those ideas and kind of see if it was something that I would want to do for YouTube or for music. And I call it my 365-day idea book, which is not the most roll off the tongue, if you will, but it's what it did. So in my book, I have ideas that I have been using for vlogs, for videos, for social media ideas, and it's all right here. And that's what it looks like. So this is the book that I used to make an idea. And if I was, caught up at work or really busy, I could get the idea down in my book and kind of, leave it for later when I had time. And I actually used all of that time to gather more ideas for when I actually wanted to start YouTube and start making videos and start doing music and all that good stuff. So the idea book changed my life because for the longest I told myself that there was no way that I was going to have enough ideas. There was nothing that I could think of. And I had a lot of fleeting moments daydreaming and figuring out, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do that. But by the time I get home, I forget, especially with ADHD and being busy. It's a recipe for disaster in that way. So this changed my life because I was able to actually use these ideas, and I could have ideas from a year ago in my book that I could look back on, or I could have ideas from 2 weeks ago, and I would be like, okay, I will never have creative block. And that has worked so far, as you can see, because we're on day 168 of me making a video every single day for a year. So it's actually working. I'm actually able to come up with an idea. I'm actually able to talk about things. And there are some times where I divert from the book. I don't always use the book for my video ideas or for talking to you all, but occasionally if I ever feel creative block or like I don't have an idea for that day, I can always refer back to my idea book and find an idea that helps me kind of spur some imagination, spur some thoughts, spur some creativity, and move on and actually record or make music. Now, if you're thinking about doing the same and starting out with 365 days of ideas or 365 days of videos sounds daunting, it doesn't have to be that. It could be once a week, once a month, whatever cadence works for you. I just knew that was what was going to work for me the most consistency-wise to be able to actually do the creative things that I want to do. And as you can see, I have many books here, including this one, which I also use for ideas. But if you don't want to use books, you don't have to. You could have it in a Google Doc, a tablet, a hieroglyph, whatever. You could put it on whatever you want, but the goal of it is to be in a place that you find it, that you have ideas, that you put everything that you want to put, and then you can always refer to it so that you can kind of get over creative block humps, so that you can expand on ideas. You have a quick idea during the day, but you may not have time to necessarily flesh the whole idea out. So you keep it there and then you can go back and flesh it out. In my book, I also have some places where I put like little check marks where I actually did an idea before. So it helps me figure out if I've done the idea a bunch of times, if I've done it only once, if it's an idea that I never looked at. And that just helps me keep track of what I'm actually working on, because I don't want to be repetitive when I make videos, when I make, TikToks for music. I don't want to, keep saying the same thing over and over again. I want it to be content and things that make sense, are accessible, and that I find interesting. And that's the most important part. Editing North to say that it also helps with continuity. So if I do like a start of an idea, I can keep a challenge going by like keeping notes on that idea and keeping track of it and keeping track of how many times I've done it, what day I'm on, all that good stuff. And so all these content ideas actually let me do the things that I want to do in a productive way. So if you're thinking about doing something like that, let me know, because I would love to see it and expand on that idea. And there's a lot more that I've talked about in other videos about my idea books and the content ideas that I've had and the things that I figured out. But it's a learning process, and not every idea in there is usable, but it does give me a good jump off point for when I want to talk to you, record, and it saves me a little time editing wise, because I spend less time planning the idea and more time planning how I'm going to edit, how I'm going to record, and what I'm going to talk about, right? So until then, I'll see you tomorrow.